so the regulators and the exchange were sitting around the room, I guess, and saying that we have the infrastructure through the VSAT connectivity and others that the exchanges have put in place, and we reach every nook and corner of the country. Can we use the infrastructure? Right, so we're sort of focusing on the plumbing. So, and I don't think a lot of people are still maybe beginning to understand the potential for it. But so what we have now, and it's sort of the phase one is already we launched it about a year ago. Phase one is through. We are doing in phase two, where the settlement for these things will happen in the same manner as will happen for stocks, right? So. So the volumes still are pretty slow, but clearly if you have a brokerage account and there are members around the country, you can sort of invest in mutual funds, okay, and reduces the distribution costs for mutual funds big time. Right. So what we now have is what we call the mutual fund platform, but clearly there is an opportunity now, the plumbing is in place where you can distribute all sorts of products. And what's happening today is that the mutual funds are the only ones who are looking at it, and they haven't yet started. If you have a new distribution channel in place, can you think in terms of coming up with new products to take advantage of the distribution channel? That's something which hasn't happened, and I am sure that the mutual funds will start thinking in those terms. The insurance companies clearly are not looking at it today because they've not been part of the discussion. But there's no reason why you can't bring the insurance companies also into it. Now, the idea of selling insurance companies through members of stock exchanges is sort of a far-fetched idea. But the interesting thing is when we did these road shows, we had a sort of a new membership scheme, and we were going around the country and talking to people. And most of the people who came to us talking about signing up for the membership scheme were people who were not selling stock, but who were IFAs and insurance brokers. Okay, so insurance agents. So you could have insurance companies trying to leverage the distribution channel, and then come up with products which would take advantage of the distribution channel, I guess. So that's something which has happened. So to sort of to sync with your question on what's happening in terms of infrastructure, I think that's something which has happened, which is clearly addressing the last mile issue, I guess. Focusing more on the plumbing part of it and less on sort of regulatory issues, which I think is sort of an exciting opportunity for us, I guess. It will not go to the person at TF5 or TS6 type of locations, but still in terms of extending the reach of the financial services is going to be a big thing, I guess.
Okay. So I think a lot has been said, but just to reinforce a couple of points, I think I agree with the larger proposition that technology has and will continue to play a very important role in the distribution of financial products and services, and that largely the technology arena is reasonably well understood in the broadest sense. And over a period of time, it has been delivering. Transaction costs have been coming down, and they will continue to do so, no question. I think one thought I want to leave for the table is that taxes make a very significant difference in how financial sector products and services are delivered. And I think we need to worry about that. Just to give one simple example, which I like to quote, is that, for example, in the securities market, typically the exchange fees are 1% of the total all-in cost to the investor. 55% is taxes. Now, why is this important? Because if all of us go back to the old